skinny bill. How badly is that needed?
That is, well, first, good morning, Sarah. Great to be back with you. But this is desperately needed. It is something that I have talked about, our state has talked about. Treasurers across the country have been pleading with Congress for an additional stimulus package. The fact that state and local governments are not included, that is tragic. There's a request that's outstanding for the prior money to be able to be used in a more flexible manner. But state and local government, it's not about government. This is about critical services, sanitation workers, teachers, critically needed. It's something that the Democrats did include in the HEROES Act that was passed in Congress in May. But obviously, the negotiations with the White House and the Republican leadership, they pushed back strongly on that. But I would still strongly advocate for that to be a part of a package that is adopted.
I mean, it's no secret that many states, including Connecticut, were struggling fiscally even before the coronavirus crisis with unfunded pensions and all sorts of issues. What's going to happen if they don't pass more aid? What does that look like for a state like Connecticut?
Well, first, to take a step back, Connecticut, just like states throughout this country, we're hurting. With that said, we've grown our rainy day fund to an historic high. In fact, our statutory limit, it just exceeded 15%. So relative in terms of our liquidity and cash flow and our immediate needs, we're in a strong position relative to most states in the country. But we just closed the fiscal year with a 30+ million budget surplus rather than a 900 million deficit. With that said, we are anticipating a deficit in this current fiscal year in excess of $2 billion. This aid is critically needed. And if Washington doesn't come up with a package, we are going to continue to hurt and suffer. Unemployment rates in Connecticut and throughout the nation are still at record high levels. And I know there's a lot of talk about the markets right now, which are also significantly impacted by a failure to have a stimulus package. But in what I call the real economy, there are people who are really hurting. And if we don't get something out of Washington that will both address kind of the needs of kind of millions of Americans that are hurting, including in my state of Connecticut, as well as reverse course on what's happening with our stock markets, we're just in a very, very bad downward spiral and digging a hole deeper and deeper for us to eventually try to grow our way out of.